So in today's video, we've got a beginner's guide to Dragon Ball Legends. Now with the 4th additive, I'm sure we've got a lot of new people coming to the game with MUI dropping. But the question stands, what's the best and most efficient way to start your Legends account? And in today's video, we will be covering multiple topics. There will be timestamps in the description of this video if you just kind of want to hop around. And here, I've been playing this game since day one. You can see my login days here, my wins, etc. But without any further ado, let's get started. First things first, we are going to be talking about rerolling. Now, rerolling is basically where someone will restart their account because they don't like the batch of characters they have or just want a fresh start or a better start, right? Now, rerolling can or cannot be a very tedious process. That's all really just luck based. Rerolling will jumpstart your account, but it will take some time out of your day to get the most optimized reroll and best start your account. Now, of me recording this video, it is currently the start of the 4th anniversary. And who you should be rerolling for is MUI Goku, because MUI Goku is a top 5 unit in the game, and his auto counter will help you clear events and story easier as well. Now let's say you were watching this video a couple months, maybe a year into the future, right? What do you summon on then? Well, let's say a banner with your favorite characters on it, Super Vegeta or Gohan, whatever the case may be. Don't be afraid to summon for that character, because as a new player, as a new player, you have so many options to get Chrono Crystals. You can get so much as a beginner, but do know that this game is very constructed around PvP. Like PvP is the main premise of this game usually, and I mean, at the end of the day, we are all playing this game because it is Dragon Ball. Like I probably would not play. I probably would not be playing this game if it was not something else, right? But I myself am a competitive player. I do play competitively in this game, and if your goal is to play competitively, you do kind of have to keep up with certain things, like what's meta, what's good nowadays, right? Even now, right? And if you want to play more casually, that's perfectly fine. But don't let me discourage you from summoning on what you want to summon on, because again, at the end of the day, it's a mobile game. It is meant to be enjoyed. Make the game your own. Card arts and elements. So card arts are basically the cards used in the game. There are six arts in this game that do exist. All you really got to know about 4 of them is this is Pow Pow, this is Pew Pew, this is Boom, and this is a green card. Green cards power up your character. Now do know that green cards differ from character to character, but there are different types of green cards. Not all green cards power up your character, but that's for a separate video. That's more of a PvP thing, so don't worry about it too much. Just know that generic green cards, most green cards in this game, will power up your character in some sort of way. And these are ultimates. Ultimates are special cards with special animations that deal damage. A character can get its ultimate through the main ability. Now, only Ultra and Sparking Rarity units have ultimates. Extreme and Hero do not. Now, there are Legends Limited Sparkings. Legends Limited Sparkings are a step higher than normal Sparking Rarity. Legends Limited units will have a special animation play out if you land their ultimate as the killing blow. Now we have Awaken Arts. Awaken Arts are pretty similar to Ultimates. They do damage, but they cannot KO your opponent. If they hit hard enough, they will leave your opponent at 1 HP. And Awaken Arts honestly are pretty irrelevant just because there aren't many characters that have Awaken Arts in the first place. And there are characters that don't do any damage on their Awaken Arts as well. As a beginner, Awaken Arts, you shouldn't really have to worry about those, even think about them at all, because there isn't really much relevancy. So quickly going over elements. Elements are the typing of this game. As you can see, there's a chart right here, and the arrows shows what's good against what, right? So purple is effective against green, but on the other hand, purple is weak to yellow, right? And in total there are 7 typings in this game. I mean, in light and dark, right? But as a beginner, don't worry about mastering these typings too much, just because the fact in every story and PvP, it'll show a chart before the fight, so it'll be something you pick up as you go along. But I mean, you've played Pokemon, right? So we've talked about what rerolling is, but how to reroll efficiently. And yes, we are on a fresh account because I also wanted the view of a beginner, like what challenges they may face, And this is just my take on the fastest way to reroll. I'm not saying it is the fastest way, but again, I've been playing this game since day one, so this is just my take on it. But before that, I'm gonna quickly show you how you can make your game run smoother if you do have a lower end device. So you press menu, other options, then graphics, and then turn your graphics all the way to low and turn energy saving settings off, because this will make your game run smoother. Yes, it will look pixely, but it will improve your game. Back to the whole topic of this section, right? You're gonna want to complete this stage right here, and once you do complete this stage, you will unlock 3 things: soul boosting, training, and adventures. Adventures and soul boosting is something I will go into a bit later, but the tutorial will just give you the basic idea of what that is. Now, once you do beat this stage right here, you're going to want to go straight to training and train Shallot, because Shallot, after you complete all the beginner missions, has his own set of missions, and that is where you will get the 1 KCC, and one of his missions is to have him max level. It's just better to do it right now rather than later. Saves you a bit of time, but that will lead you to getting 1 KCC for your first summon, and then you can decide if you want to reroll or not. So now that you've got all the beginner missions done, you're going to want to come collect them, and then King Kai will tell you a couple other things. After, you're going to head straight to story, just do 1 stage, make sure you bring Shallot, then head over back to missions under special and collect your 1K corner crystals. Then it is up to you to decide whether you want to reroll or not reroll, and just stick with the badge characters you were given, or reroll to your given the character that you wanted. So now that you've got your rerolled or non-rerolled account, what do you do next? What's the next step? Well, before anything else, you've got to link your account to make sure you don't lose it, of course. To do that, you come to missions, events, then Z missions, and look for data transfer. Now, doing this will give you 500 CC, so there's no reason not to do it. Just press challenge, and then you can link it to whatever you have, Google, Facebook, etc. And you can link more than one thing to your account, so do know that. If for some reason you can't find it, come to menu, other than data transfer right here, press on it, same thing, link it to something. Now, what should you focus on after you've linked your account? Story. Just grind story, because story will get most of the game unlocked. PvP is locked behind story, a lot of it is locked behind story, co-op is locked behind story. You need to do story to unlock all of that. So we're here on the main account just as a reference, right? And to unlock most of the game, if you're a beginner, you're gonna have to beat up to part 2, chapter 7, book 8. This is basically it, and then you will have most of the game unlocked from that point on. Like I said in the previous clip, you do want to focus on story and a hard grind story, because a lot of the game will unlock once you do get to certain parts of the story. These intermediate missions be done, basically. I mean, they're very simple. Just play story, right? That's all this. That's basically what this is. And yeah, you're killing 2 birds with 1 stone, basically. As well, with a lot of events are going to be locked behind story because you haven't done them yet. But once you do get to that chapter I mentioned in the previous clip, you're going to want to come to the Radix event here and beat the first 3 stages. Then the rest of the game will unlock, I believe. So now we're going to be talking about soul boosting. What is soul boosting? Well, soul boosting is basically improving the way your character performs in like fights or whatever you may be doing. Now these are called panels, right? Soul boosting panels, and each panel will give you a certain buff, right? So this one will give you HP, and what you want to do, you want to have all of these say 100% on them to have your character at the max performance, because you want your character to do the best they can do rather than the worst they can do. Yes, leveling up does improve their performance, but soul boosting plays a huge part in that as well. So how to soul boost? Basically just come in here, and if you have the resources, it will automatically soul boost your character if you press unlock all. Now if you're missing resources on certain panels, what you can do is you can press on it, and if you're missing resources, like it says here, I don't have any 2 yellows, press how to get. As you can see, I'm missing 2 yellow, so you come here, you scroll down, and you want to press the one that says bonus battle neck with the stars, right? That's always what you're going to want to press when it comes to grinding souls. So we're back on the main account again as a reference. So we're here at these stages that will drop us these souls. Do note that there are different stages that drop different souls. Like this stage here, it drops yellow 1 and yellow 2 souls, but there are other stages that drop like level 3 souls, level 4 souls, etc. And once you complete this stage, all you gotta do is complete it once, and then you can use skip tickets to basically skip the stage, right, and then you get all those rewards after. But remember, you're also gonna need skip tickets and energy to actually grind souls, because these bonus battle stages, each of them cost 2 energy a run. So if I skip this 5 times using 5 of my skip tickets, this will be 10 energy in total. But if I do that, right, I don't have to play out the gameplay or like actually do the fight. Just press skip, and here it will automatically just skip through it, and then it gives me all the rewards that I would have gotten just by playing normally, right? But that would have taken more time. So now we're gonna move on to our next topic, Zenkais. Now, Zenkai is something you will be introduced to after you've completed all of the intermediate missions. Now, what are Zenkais? Well, Zenkais are basically given to the older units of this game's history to make them better, if not at least usable. There have been Zenkais that are just absolute garbage even on release. Now, these 4 characters you see on screen here, you will be given after you completed all the intermediate missions at exactly 7 stars. 7 stars is the requirement to even Zenkai character. Now, let's say you're watching this in the future and you want to know who has Zenkai, right? You come to your character list, you come to filter, you scroll all the way down, and you press under Zenkai Awakening, press the left side here, press OK, and these are all the characters in the actual game that have Zenkais. Even if you don't have the character, they will still show up here, letting you know who has Zenkai. Now, there are different levels to Zenkai, Zenkai 1, Zenkai 2, all up to 7. All these characters right here are Zenkai 7. But Zenkais, as a beginner, don't invest any resources into these guys because they are very resource costly. Sorry about the background, family. But these guys are very, very resource costly, and these resources, you just won't have them as a beginner. They are given basically a whole other panel to them, a whole 100% of panels to them, extra stats, extra abilities, right? But these guys are very resource costly, and you should not invest your resources into these Zenkais. Now, let's say you at least want to grind the resources, not invest, but just grind the resources early on. You can come to event here and then go to upgrade, and then go all the way down, and you can do this 3 times a day. But know that every run of these costs 3 energy instead of 2. But with these, you get Zenkai souls. Now, what I personally would do is one day I get blue souls, the other day I get purple souls, the other day I get green souls. Mix it up. Don't always go for the same color. At least then, when you're ready to work on Zenkais, you have the resources to invest into that unit. Now, if you go to summon and you come here to event Zenkai, excuse me, you will see all these Zenkai characters that are out right now. Right now, Vegito, Blue, Turles, and Caulifla are out. What I would recommend doing, if you do want to work on a certain Zenkai day 1, even though they're not really the greatest, I would work on either Super Saiyan Blue Goku or the Green Broly. Green Broly is a very defensive unit, so he's not going to do much damage if anything. But Super Saiyan Blue Goku is probably the best out of that batch. What I would do is I would come here and only do the daily. Every single day, these units have a daily summon for Z power for their Zenkai. This is the only thing I would do. Only do it if it has 20, and this resets every single day. So one day 20, next day 20. That's how it works. Now note that you won't Zenkai that character overnight. That will take time. That isn't something that will just happen overnight. This will take time. But at least then, that gives you time to get a better handle at the game and understand the game more and learn more about the game. It is a learning curve. So now we're quickly going to talk about the Legends Road shop and Legends Road events. Now, once you've completed all the intermediate missions, you will unlock the first Legends Road shop that is under special. You come here and you just want to beat the whole thing. It is very easy. You're not going to struggle with this. But what you're going to want to do, you're going to want to complete this stage right here at least once a day. You can skip ticket it, so you can just use 1 skip ticket and 1 energy to actually beat that. And then you will get 400 of these medals right here on top. You can use those medals for equipment or training items and energy. I've already collected the energy, but there's energy and skip tickets in these shops that you can just get. It's free basically, but you want to make sure you complete the daily stage. So now we are going to be talking about adventures. Adventures you will always find under original series here. Now there are 3 types of adventures: 7-hour and 3-hour and 1-hour adventures. I will get into 1-hour adventures in a second, but just choose which one you prefer right now. If you have a busy day, maybe grab the 7 hours or whatever the case may be. But make sure you have all of these challenges completed, so you can just use skip tickets and energy to get through it very fast. And it is a guaranteed drop, so If you use 4 energy, you'll get 4 adventures. Yep, guaranteed. And then what you would do, you would head over to adventures, and my adventures just finished up, so I will go here and collect them very quickly. But as you can see, these all drop certain exchange items, and you can also repeat them if you have the adventure already. Now you want to set up your adventures, and always press auto select, because this will give you the best characters you have in your box for that adventure, increasing the chances of your drop rate just being better overall. And start the adventure. Now once that adventure has finished, right, and you come to the exchange shop, look for the exchange shop here, like right here, right from your corner of this video. This is currently the 4th anniversary again, and this is the exchange shop we have right now. And then here are where you can grab these 1 hour adventures for just one of whatever the exchange item is. As you guys saw in the previous clip, I got like over 300 of the exchange items just per one adventure. So it's very easy stuff, and you can also use those items to exchange for souls. So it's basically free stuff. So now we are briefly going to be talking about equipment. Equipment collection is where you will get a majority of your equipment starting out. There are all sorts of equipment here, and you're mainly going to be grabbing these Saiyan equipment because Saiyans make up 90% of the game, and as a beginner, the team you're most likely going to be running is Saiyan based. And if you want to check the equipment themselves, what drops in that stage, you can come to reward and press on the equipment to check what they do. Now there are certain equipment that are only for certain characters. We're going to use plats in this scenario. Now plats as a beginner, don't grind these, because these are very grindy equipment, and some of these equipment are for certain tags like Android Saga. This specific equipment here is crazy. Plats are usually crazy equipment, or just in general very good equipment that is a must run on the tags themselves, right? This one's for Android Saga, and here you can see the stats of the equipment. But the thing about plats, the chances of you getting a good plat off to start is very low. Again, these plats cost so much. You need to invest so much energy into plats to get like a very good one. And then there are plats that are for certain characters, just for one character. Like take this Frieza one for example. This Frieza one is only for that Frieza. So now we are going to be talking about team building. So team building is where you have a party of 6 characters, and every single character buffs their own team in their own kind of way. So this shallot, for example, you hold on the character, go show details, then Z ability, and look for here Z ability. And this shallot, he buffs the HP of tag Saiyan characters. Now this does not include hybrid Saiyan characters. Yes, Saiyan is in the name, but this is specifically for Saiyan characters, not hybrid Saiyans. And if you're unsure if a certain character has a certain tag, you can come here to status, scroll all the way down, and here it will show you every single tag that this character does share. So here we have a build of mine, and none of these Saiyan characters here buff Gohan because they only buff Saiyans, right? So why do I have Gohan here? Well, this is where something called the leader slot comes into play. Now the leader slot basically allows you to put any character on there, and this guy, he buffs hybrids, right? But since he's in the leader slot, he will buff the rest of the team despite them not sharing the hybrid tag. And on the other hand, the rest of the team will buff him despite him not sharing their tag. And do note, when it comes to Zenkai abilities, these Zenkai abilities are not applied to the leader unit. Only the Z ability is applied. These Zenkai abilities are not applied. So I forgot to mention that when it comes to the leader slot, you have to bring the character for the leader unit to give their buff to the rest of the team. If you don't bring that character, the rest of the team will not get that buff, and the leader unit will also not get their buff as well. Now here, as you can see, when I press on the leader unit, every other character lights up, letting you know that every other character in the party is getting his buff, as well with the rest of the party also giving their buff to him. And this is gonna wrap it up for this beginner's guide. For you newer players that are coming to the game, I hope you could take something from this video, and I do hope it helped you out. But let me be the first to welcome you to Legends. And if you guys want any other kind of guides on anything, energy, equipment, etc., let me know down in the comment section below. But with that being said though, I will catch all of y'all in the next one.